For me, Chris, you are Rodney Dangerfield and Richard Branson wrapped up in a big teddy bear. If you worked for him, he inspired you, made you so much better than you ever thought you could be. And then you went and made him more money. Then you too, as you always sharing the wealth with those you love dearly, which of course is all of you. He forgave everyone and made everyone feel like the most important person in the world. Having just one interaction with Chris can give you so much energy, hope, positive self-esteem. He believed in you. So true, so sincere. He saw your big picture. His big is never big enough world broadened your thinking, amplified your dreams, showed you the way, believed in you, and became your biggest fan. Chris never knew failure, and if you thought you were going to fail, those feelings were gone after interacting with him just once. Words like magnanimous, altruistic, convivial had little meaning to Chris. He wasn't much of a student, he didn't know what they meant. But boy, did he exemplify that. I mean, he exemplified those virtues. Paying personally for employees, honeymoons, families, medical issues, and overwhelmingly responded to personal hardships. You didn't have to ask, you just found out and took care of it. Whether you invited him to your wedding or not, after the wedding, he would call Macy's and purchase every remaining item on your registry. Privately, Chris cherished 5 women and 1 man, all named Edgecomb. I experienced firsthand the unbelievable, relentless courtship of Marianne, and 13 more years of love showered upon her, from tiny romantic gestures to ginormous Chris Edgecomb productions. And any time Chris was exhausted and ready to fall asleep in his chair, I would ask him about Cindy. And he would just beam bright and perk up and start talking about the most recent accomplishments or the wonderful adventure that they just shared. There is nothing Chris wouldn't do for his family, and we all know he could do almost anything. Throwing a concert to raise money for Cap's brain surgery saved the life of Chris's friend and yielded the world so much more time with one of its brightest souls. Chris tried as hard as he could with Bill, but all the money and exuberant optimism Chris garnered for him couldn't keep Bill around any longer. Resigned that he could not control the destination, he seized control of the journey. And he showered him with life, love, hope, and every kind of peace. Chris would have done, and in many cases, already did that much and more for each of you here. Most of the time, he didn't have to ask. Faults? He had a few. He could never learn to whisper. He liked to play hooky from work. He usually owned the company. He took all of his management team on impromptu off-site retreats, which was code for we're hitting the matinee at the Arlington's this afternoon. Imagine how awkward Chris must have felt when his boisterously whispered ad-libs resonated throughout the Arlington. Okay, you're right. Chris never felt awkward about his supersized persona. You can trust Chris with anything. You don't ever have to walk away from the table for even a moment. Well, you can't really trust him if you walk away from the table. The guy that hot sauce up your drink in the blink of an eye. I've learned you need a big bladder when you're eating with Chris. First of all, he'll get you drunk. Second, if you leave the table, your egg roll will be a hauled out wasabi bomb. You guys have been there, haven't you? If you earnestly try to pick up the tab at the end of the meal, your bathroom break absence gave him the opportunity to preempt the credit card battle. I did beat Chris in picking up the tab once. I won a bet, and I got to treat him to lunch the next time I was in Santa Barbara. Those are the kind of bets you win with Chris. When I got there, and informed him that I was paying, he had that devious smile. And on our way out, he seized the handset from the receptionist's desk and paged the entire company. He said, "Our customer Justice Telecom is buying all-star employees lunch at Piranha, and it would be terribly impolite to not go with us right now." So dozens of people come pouring out of each corridor and head to the best sushi in town. Chris won, yet again. Of course, there's only he can do. Once we were seated, he stood up. And I know what you're thinking. Big-hearted, big brother Chris is now offering to pay the tab. No! Super competitive. Enough is never enough, Chris. Notice that damn Maxwell wasn't there. He got on the phone, and I heard Chris bark, "Dan, where are you? Come to Piranha now. Pay the bill and get over here. I don't care, put the food in to-go containers and get over here. You can bring the Nortel guys too, come on." Because David Glickman is trying to Chris Edgecomb me in my town. We know one thing, Chris loved pranks. Serving up scoops of butter's ice cream, driving the golf cart by sending the passenger, usually Hosley, through bushes and sprinklers, or his trade show ritual of finding dead fish to invade your personal belongings. He pranked you because he loved you, accepted you, respected you. I got indoctrinated 17 years ago when I naively walked away from my chase lounge for a few minutes in Acapulco and returned to find my feet squishing dead fish in my loafers. We call that fishing with Chris. I've traveled with Chris on every populated continent. I have found dead fish in my backpack, under conference tables, and in trade show booths. George went fishing often, even more than I did. And he discovered that he didn't have to leave his hotel room. The fishes kept showing up under his bed at every conference. In my hotel room, Chris would always find a way to sneak crap under my sheets, including pens, paper, ice buckets, even a fax machine. The man never lacked for creativity. On his birthday this year, he took every item out of my mini bar and hid, well, no, locked them in my room safe. Hey, Chris, there's a fish in your coffee. In fact, if Chris were to produce his own memorial service, other than driving everyone crazy with his frenetic energy and 11th hour audibles, there would be one very big prank. In the most solemn moment, something so very unexpected will happen. Followed by boisterous laughter and a requisite rock show. What is Chris doing right now? Other than convincing John and George to make their exclusive Celestial promoter when Paul and Reno show up, he's planning pranks to let you know he's still thinking of you. In the most inopportune or embarrassing moment, he'll hide your keys, set off your alarm, or randomly ring your phone in church. Chris lives in the hearts of everyone he touched. We will be thinking of him the next time we need to do something bigger than we are. When you have to close that big account next month, Chris's inspiration will be there, and you'll make that firm. When you help a colleague with a hardship and give them more resources, more attention than they could ever have hoped to receive, you're channeling Chris. When you witness something hysterical happen to a coworker in the break room, Chris is there laughing with you. And when you find a pen in your sheets or any other signature Edgecombian sign, you'll know that he too is thinking about all of us. Like putting a fish on my podium. Chris, you taught us to dream big. Don't just be a star, be the brightest star. Like every day, live every day like your last. Does anyone doubt that Chris didn't extract the joie de vivre from life every single day. Tell people how you feel about them. One of Chris's gifts is that he always let you know how important you were to him. You all know that Chris loved you and showed you that love always. Take a page from Chris's playbook and tell your friends how much they mean to you. Chris Edgecomb, superstar. From Star Paper Airplane Company at age 6. I read that too. Became Star Manly in college. Star Telecom, Star Power. Sirius, the bright star. Marrying a star from the Lone Star State. Having Sydney, such a twinkle of a little star. Partying like a rock star. Heck, he partied with the rock stars. And being an all-star in every facet of your life. Chris, you became too big for this world. You can't keep a star this bright on a bare planet. You need to reach into the heavens and shine back down on us. Your spirit shines so bright within me. I will take all you've given me and try to inspire others. Yes. Yes. We had the time of our lives. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.